What's up, all you babblers? Is that what we're gonna nickname all of the people who watch this? All of the babblers? All of the babblers. Dustin will be on in just a minute. But I did comment on here I was gonna join whether he was here or not, and I hope he's not offended because I didn't do it to mess with him. I honestly thought he would be here before me. But anyways, we're gonna have a great show. It's gonna be fantasmic. Um, Dustin will be here in just a second, but it's going to be good. We're going to talk about KusaCon tomorrow, Comic Con, some of the prep we're doing for that, what we take to the show, how we prepare for a show. You know, it's a fun time, and then we're going to talk about the market, the comic book market. Should you buy? Should you not? Quite frankly, I'm a little frustrated. I bought when I bought, and maybe now's a better time to buy. But Dustin and I will talk about that a little bit more. And hey, it's the Comic Book Babylon. Don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, you boys better send Dustin some messages. He said he needed a few more minutes, and I just now saw it. Anywho's, what's up, Southern Comic Geek? What is up, Warlord? What's happening? Anybody else in the chat? Say hello. Hello, hello. Alan, what's happening? I do hate the fact we're not going to be there tomorrow. So, a little bit of a fun thing that my local comic shop does, and I don't know if your local comic shop does anything fun like that, but my LCS, what they do is some crazy things. So this weekend, and they're all about giving to the children. And for local comic shop day, free comic book day, they always do a big event. Whether it's the Mana House or something like that locally, but they do big giveaways. And if you bring in some donations, you get a part of that raffle, or they'll have some guys show up and do some crazy, stupid things. And one of those things is they're going to be doing the one chip challenge. And if you haven't seen that, Dustin did the one chip challenge on our channel. Okay. And it's been about a year or so ago. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, you guys should definitely check that out because he loses it. His eye gets bloodshot. He tries to down a whole thing of milk. But anyways, so they're doing that this weekend at the comic shop to raise some money. They're doing the one chip challenge, the bamboozle. The GoFundMe is, pretty close to 1,000 or a little over. I don't know if Alan wants to drop the link to that. But it's going to be a good time there. So, what's up, James? Look, James, I finally got a chance to watch My Hero Academia World Missions, I think is what it is, World Mission, World Team, something like that. And I went and paid for Stars just to watch it, popped it open, and it's in Japan or Japanese only. But what I did see of it was really cool. James is a fantastic dude. He's the whole reason I'm into all of this mess right here. I don't have a problem. I may or may not already own all of these. Did you get you a box set, James? Yeah, I wish I would have been able to watch it in theaters. I truly wish I was able to go see it in theaters. But man, I've tell you what, since I started Fantastic Four, and I can talk a little bit about that. By the way, you guys should all shame Dustin and Justin. They both committed to reading all the Fantastic Four with me, right? They did this, they committed, and then they kind of skirted off on me there. Justin, he blamed COVID for why he stopped, like COVID's the reason. And then Dustin, yeah, I mean, he had no excuse. You know what I mean? He loves the Fantastic Four, 3 issues a day, and then he skipped out on me. What is this? But in all fairness, I'm about 40 issues behind of what I should be. I kind of stopped for about 3-4 weeks because I read all of the Lord of the Rings. And quite frankly, it was such a nice palate cleanser because I thought I was ready after taking a month off from reading all of Spider-Man and jumping immediately into a big thing like Fantastic Four. And it still wasn't enough. I needed a little bit more time. So I went really heavy into Fantastic Four, read about 100 issues. And then I started reading Lord of the Rings, loved it, like totally fell down that rabbit hole and have spent way too much money on Lord of the Rings books already. It's the same book, just different printings because that's what you do, I guess, as a comic book collector. You just maybe, I don't know, you just collect whatever. But anyway, so about 40 issues behind, which is no big deal because I can read 10 issues a day for 4 or 5 days and basically be caught up. It's just really buckling down and doing that. But I will tell you, Fantastic Four has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. If you are a fan of Silver Age comic books, you should definitely give it a shot. Submariner is the greatest. It starts off a little interesting, gets kind of bad when Inhumans come in, and then takes back up when Galactus and Silver Surfer and stuff is introduced. I think the worst part so far of Fantastic Four has been anytime the Inhumans are involved. The best parts are anytime Doctor Doom, Namor, the real Namor, not the MCU version. I'll be clear, and um, anything like Galactus or Cosmic or the Watchers involved. I mean, it's phenomenal. And Jack Kirby's art, next to none. And I got, if you guys follow us on Instagram, I put a little statement out there. I said, Ditko's better than Kirby. He's more creative. I shouldn't say better. I should say he is more creative. And around like mid 30s, I mean, it's just a whole new world. I don't know what Jack Kirby does, but he takes off and it gets so much better. I've taken so many screenshots of the Fantastic Four pages, and it's always consistent. We always get one or two massive page spreads, and I adore Jack Kirby's art and the coloring. And where we're at now, Jack is off of the book, but it's still, honestly, I didn't even realize it at first, but it is still so good. So I highly recommend reading the Fantastic Four as a whole. What I've seen out of Silver Age comic books absolutely dwarfs anything modern wise. So yeah, highly recommend. And so there's the link for the fundraiser. Again, it's all going to the children. And these guys are crazy. So while we're waiting on Dustin to jump on real quick, I will share what that looks like, what the GoFundMe looks like. And I hate we're not going to be there tomorrow. We're going to be in Kusacon tomorrow, and the One Chip Challenge. It's going to looks like the Mana House. Is that where it's going?
This is our second.
Okay, so that's just the video. They talked about it. But look at this. $1,125. So that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And what I will tell you, Alan, is you better step it up, dude. You better step it up because you are behind all these boys. What is up with that, Alan? So anywho's, that's fantastic. Shout out to the local comic shop, Haven Comics, for taking care of the children. So that's really cool. Anywho's, anything major in comic books that have happened lately? Anything interesting? Anything fun? Because we've been out of the comic book news for a minute, man. I know Black Panther, they just dropped their newest trailer. You guys looking forward to that Black Panther trailer? Or Black Panther movie? Or I'll be honest with you guys. I think they should have recast T'Challa. I really do. And I am not so certain that I'm alone in that. You know what I mean? I really feel like there's a ton of people who truly believe that they should recast the man. You know what I mean? So, oh, Marvel Snap. I downloaded that. I tried it for 3 seconds and then quit playing it. But I did try it. Is it worth it? It looks pretty cool. So we'll see. Apparently it's doing pretty well, doing pretty well. And I know Black Panther just dropped a whole brand new trailer today, kind of a 1 week. So we can look at that real quick.
We know what you whisper.
Ooh.
They have lost.
Oh, and then Shuri being basically confirmed as Black Panther too, because I know the what do you guys think about that? Shuri being Black Panther, obviously in the comic books, that's a thing. I was one still pulling for some kind of bait and switch of it's going to be, Killmonger. Really, I just want Michael B. Jordan to be back in the MCU. God, they lost such a talent. They really did. So, but Shuri being all but confirmed. I haven't watched this one yet.
Time to strike. You saw an underwater empire.
Yeah. And I'm still not feeling Namor. I am still
People are dangerous.
Yeah, he's got a cool look to him. I'm still not feeling him, man. What do you guys think? I mean, yeah, he's got the wings but I honestly I think for me the biggest thing is they're not giving him Atlantis. You know what I mean? I uh I hmm, I really wish they gave him more of the Atlantis vibe versus that. Okay, that was pretty cool. Out of the whale. So, oh, Dustin's not even home yet. What is going on? What is he doing? Anywho's, he'll be home in just a minute.
He's coming.
So that's, I mean, and the way he flies too is another thing where he's, let's see, hold on. Give it a second if they show it. I'm excited for these moments. I think these moments are going to be that right there. Like, I feel like that's going to be like a heartwarming, like, you're going to get chills watching moments like that. It's like watching the haka from New Zealand. You know what I mean? Like, you ever watch that? It is such a like I feel like it's gonna have that similar like emotion when you watch that. You can't watch the haka and not be like, oh my god. It kind of looks like Avatar a little bit with some of these high tech helicopters. But boy, Namor better be a total asshole if we're being honest. He's a total a-hole in the comic books. Oh, there she is. So that was a cool. I think it's Shuri. I don't know if they've actually 100% confirmed it. Yeah, I don't even care the fact that it's Aztec, but like, or, you know, that vibe to it, I guess. But like, dude, it's Atlantis. He's Atlantean, right? So let's do that. I know there's some other arguments behind that. Whatever. You know, in my mind.
The Marvel Studios Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Let's just King of Atlantis, right? Anywho's. Has anybody gone and seen Black Adam yet? I've yet to see Black Adam. I hate that. We've had nobody to see to watch the kid. And on top of that, we're traveling this weekend. So, but I really do want to see Black Adam so desperately. I tell you what, maybe, Dustin, if you're watching this, if Kusakan sucks, maybe before we go hang out with other folks, we could like sneak off to see Black Adam. The spinner rack's gone. They're not coming this weekend. They're sick. Really, you guys don't care? I don't know, man. Maybe, and again, like I'm not a DC guy right now. I haven't really been a fan or like how do I put it? You know, like MCU for the most part, like anything they put out, I'm the first guy ready to go watch it. I'm buying Thursday night tickets if I can. With DC, it has been a constant drop off every time something comes out, every time somebody from their casting opens their mouths. I'm like, I'm done. I don't like, but there's something about Black Adam that really interests me. And I think it's just maybe like that little kid inside that like hopes that it's going to revive the DCEU because I don't want them to fail. Right. And Zaslav seems like he really cares about what the fans want and wants to see success. And I'm also really excited about the GSA. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, okay. Not a good story. And that's DC's biggest thing, I think. And let me know what you guys think, but I think they really fail at putting together like a really strong, coherent storyline. You know what I mean? It's like they started and then they wanted to jump so quickly into being the MCU, being the MCU, being the MCU. You know, we're going to launch an entire team of characters with like very minimal buildup. You know, and again, I know they did Aquaman and then they ruined Wonder Woman with the second one. Like, if you guys saw Wonder Woman 84, would you guys like, do you guys actually think that was a positive movie? Because I tried to watch it several times and I fell asleep or just couldn't get past like the CGI mechanics or like the physics of the CG, like the way the body, it was terrible. Oh, It's a 2005 movie in the story front. Yikes. In all fairness to The Rock, though, he was cast in it, what, like 15, 20 years ago, something like that? And I'm being a bit facetious, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's see if the Rotten Tomatoes has gotten any better for Rotten Tomatoes Black Adam. Um, and then also we can talk a little about. No, I don't want to support your ads. Sorry. If you guys don't know how to use ad blockers, they're fantastic, especially whenever you're using a website that's like, how do I put this? Just not great. So, anyways, 40% critic, 89% audience. So it's been about the same on the audience front. At one point, it was 90%, and they took that and blasted it everywhere real quick. And I guess it's dropped significantly. So, and I don't think, let's see. Yeah, nothing early from Black Panther's come out yet. So I guess they haven't lifted that embargo, if you will. So I know there was something else I was going to talk to you guys about. So tell me what you guys think about all of these new Marvel Comics. What do you call it? Covers they're putting out. Because they're doing all kinds of like gimmicks. It is gimmick city left and right, right and left and right on the Marvel comic. And we talked about this a little bit with Dustin. So the redoing, and here's the full list, guys. And this is directly at marvel.com. But here's some of the artwork examples. And like, dude, come on, JR, how are you going to ruin that cover? Here's another homage. I'm gonna say it homage, but Ryan Stegman can do no wrong. I don't care what anyone says. Inyuk Lee, like, dude, that is, I hate the fact that looks the way it does. It looks really rough. Not gonna lie there, guys. That looks good. Fine. I mean, what do you guys think? But like, they're so gimmicky now, and this isn't the only gimmick they're doing. So they're doing these, and then look at this other one, right? These other let's see. Here we go. The no prize. This was the other one I was going to show you guys. The new Marvel Comics no prize covers. Eesh. What do you guys think? Right? I kind of like that one. Not gonna lie, but it's because my boy Spider-Man's on it. Me and him are boys now. Did y'all know that? That happened 3 seconds ago, and I feel like a total goof for letting that come out of my mouth. I do not feel good about myself. I mean, it looks fine. If I saw it on the shelf, I'm probably gonna buy it. And apparently those are actual scans of envelopes from Marvel No Prizes or something like that. So we could dig in deeper, but I just don't care enough to do so. But it's like, man, are you guys at that much for a loss? With like good stories and pushing for sales with good stories, that you're putting out all of these gimmicky covers, and they're also doing some Marvel Disney type covers. So let me pull that up. New Marvel Comics Disney covers. Okay. Again, more gimmicky homages. Not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Exactly. And I think like, yeah, Dan, just because tomorrow we're at KusaCon. And Dustin will be on any second. And damn, I still got to get you on, man, so we can talk Silver Age books. I am still pretty deep into FF4, and as I continue to read it, the faster I'll read it. And so yeah, I am. Yeah, so weird. But anyways, so like they're fine. I'm not saying they're the worst covers or worst ideas, but I feel like as a fan of Marvel Comics and DC, like if they would work on really, and I hate to sound like a total D-bag here, and I may for a moment, but like I have spent so much time this year really reading the cream of the crop comic books and writing and like a Silver Age. and even some of the Bronze Age and early modern stuff. When I say modern, like 80s, 90s, that kind of stuff, um, is like heads and tails above of a lot of stuff we're getting now from Marvel and DC. If you want quality stories, you're having to go to independent comic books, which is fine by me. But like, it's so frustrating the fact that there is not a decent Spider-Man storyline that's out right now. There isn't that I can think of. The current run, especially Amazing Spider-Man, has got to be some of the worst written stuff ever produced by Marvel for Amazing Spider-Man. And some of these other things like Venom, that was, I would say, in recent 2-3 years, it was probably the best storyline. And at the time, I felt like it landed kind of flat. But now, knowing what I know, having read historically Spider-Man, you can tell Donny Cates is a fan of Spider-Man and comic books, and that changed my opinion there. But Marvel, what is the best Marvel comic book happening out right now? And that's my frustration, is we should literally be sitting here talking about the brand new comic books we're picking up and how great the story is from Marvel or DC or whoever. And I don't ever see that. I never hear that talk anymore. It's always, look how incredible this cover is, which is a cool cover. I'm a big, I'm a fan of the Disney covers. Um, I'm probably gonna have to buy these, and they actually did the black and white versions too. So I need to talk to Josh about getting these. Josh, if you're here, or Alan, if you see Josh tomorrow, let him know I may like this. What's up, Kyle? Daredevil. Okay, Daredevil. So Daredevil has literally been the only story or comic book that I've heard in recent memory. I say recent memory, within the last year and a half, that people are like, yeah, you need to read Daredevil, Nick. And the only reason I'm not, guys, the only reason I'm not picking up Daredevil currently is for like 4 reasons. One, I want to read it all from beginning to end. So once I get finished with Fantastic Four, I still have to decide what's next. And I'm so torn because every time I see the Hulk pop up in these comic books, I want to read everything about the Hulk, but I'm worried that he's not a strong enough character to keep my interest for hundreds of issues. But Daredevil, I've read a decent amount of Daredevil, but I don't know if I'm interested enough. I like him when he comes in, and he was a big part of Spider-Man on occasion, but I'm not sure. But everybody's telling me I need to read it, so I'll trust. And but I want to read it from beginning to end, and I don't want to read it twice. You know what I mean? But yes, Zdarsky is a phenomenal writer, one of the best out right now. And if you guys didn't see a couple of weeks ago, we showed off his, what do you call it? His master class of how to write comic books. And there was a little clip in there I put on our Instagram, and I showed off here. I may show it later. And it was so funny. He's just like, you know what, comics are great, F you, and then moved on with kind of the topic. But it was quite funny. He's a great writer, and like Donnie's Hulk, that started off very interesting and quickly lost my attention. His Thor lost my attention. The new Venom run was immediately not impressive. So it's kind of weird, man, how just we need some value, some good stories coming from modern comic books. And, like my pull list is basically Todd McFarlane and manga. And I have enough manga coming through that it kind of makes up for some of the books I'm, kind of canceled on my pull list. And of course the Mad Cape books. And I try to get any Justin Birch books that come out. But for the most part, like when I go in there, I bring my little girl and we're dropping money on.
Don't worry, guys. I came and saved the day. I don't know what Nick was talking about, but I'm sure it's going to be a whole lot better with another person here to converse with about it.
So 2 things. You scared the holy teetotal crap out of me. I did not see that you had joined, and I wasn't notified. And all of a sudden, it just boom, and I'm like, okay, that happened.
Boom, bitch.
Yeah. And
Which
2,
I turned into a gift this week and submitted it to Tenor. So maybe one day we'll be able to actually find that when you search boom.
So, and 2, it started off rusty, but I got on a really good tangent. James, how am I doing? You've been here the longest, I think. It started rusty, but I think I've held it pretty strong for the last 25 minutes because I put in the chat, I assumed you would already be here. I said, I'm starting
sorry,
without Dustin or not.
I had a book I was working on. I lost track of time. I couldn't step away from it. And I had to run to the store because I promised I would. And it just everything
That's fine.
flew by for me tonight, and I just
What up, Bleeker?
completely lost it. What's up, Bleak?
Moon Knight. Okay. So, and I read heavily into Moon Knight when that show started. I read a good bit, and but Moon Knight is one of those characters where, in my mind, I'm totally fine reading 6-issue miniseries, 12-issue miniseries. He's not necessarily a character where I feel like I want to read 100, 200 issues of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I really do enjoy a lot of their. I think he's a perfect mini or
enough to have an understanding of the character.
Yeah, for sure. See, thank you, James. The Hunt's coming out tonight, right? Hey, Kenneth, what's up, Andy?
I hope everybody does good. I have officially put in my retirement. Everybody was notified this week.
I like it
that I am officially now retired from the Hunt. All 7 of me. So yeah, but there's enough new guys on there that are doing really cool stuff, and those guys can all hold it down. And I don't think they'll miss a beat, skip a beat, or miss me being on there at all. So
the old people are retired.
I think I'm the only one. Everybody else is still rolling, but I just felt like it was time to hang up the old internet boots, man. You know,
probably for the best. James, what are you saying to blast of it right now? The story's very engaging. Are you talking about Daredevil? And also, man, as soon as I'm done with Fantastic Four, I gotta figure out my next manga to read all of, because that's what I'm doing. I'm reading Silver Age comic books, reading it all, and then I'm taking a month reading an entire manga run. So I just finished up Chainsaw Man, which kind of frustrated me because as soon as I finished
somebody the other day. Oh, I know who it was. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was so go ahead because I lost my train of thought now.
Well, anywho's we can. I was literally just talking about modern comic. Dude, it's been such a tangent. But what I was gonna do was show off my new pickups real quick. Got that bad boy
I got
in.
one.
There you go.
Boom.
So got that in.
I'm talking about. How do you do that? How do you do that? Right there, baby. Right there.
Got that in.
Right there.
And the full video on this is. Bleeker said you're the best one out there. That's because I haven't done it.
Bleeker's coming in there stealing the whole show, man. My man's been killing it.
So Andrew, I did start One Piece, and I'm about 70 issues into it. But like I'll be honest with you, I do like One Piece a lot. It's funny, it's hilarious. I did read a ton of One Punch Man. Did I finish it? No, I did not finish One Punch Man. I need to finish that one. But One Piece is one of those where I don't think I want to read it from start to finish like some of these other ones I'm doing. I think it's more of I want that one to last because it's a great palate refresher, if that makes sense. It's funny, it's humorous, it's goofy. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a lot of sarcasm. So, and James, I don't know, man. That's another thing.
You were talking about the manga stuff. So
yeah,
Kenneth Singleton, he's been watching our show for a long time, and I actually got to meet up with him the weekend before last because he wanted me to press and clean a book for him and get it submitted for the Todd McFarlane signing. And he was actually talking to me about different manga and anime and asking me if I was into it, and I was telling him no, and he's like, dude, you gotta, like, you would really get into this because you like the pirate stuff, and you'd get into this because you like wrestling kind of stuff, and like he was just going on and on and on about it. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure that my brother and Justin and James have literally probably thrown every one of those titles at me. I said I'm having a hard enough time finding availability to read comic books right now. I said, you know, I don't want to waste time on manga when I could be reading comic books.
Dude, it's so much easier to read manga. Like anyway, literally everything up there I've read all of it,
Yeah.
I
know.
but I've got so much more. But the last pickup I had, so this is a tobacco pipe. You guys saw a couple of weeks ago. I got a 16-inch Hobbit pipe. This is just a little 6-incher gondola pipe.
Bigger than the Hobbits.
Yeah, this is more of, but like, dude, this has been such a fun little hobby to get back into. And again, for Perry, if he's watching, it is just tobacco. And he said his was supposed to get in yesterday. He's getting one of the big ones. So, Darth Thanos. So, I have actually watched all of JoJo's that's come out except for this latest half of the last part that's on Netflix. I know JoJo, the way they do parts is a little bit weird. And I did read all of volume 1 and volume 2. But it really gave me, which this will make sense, but like early 80s kind of weird Dragon Ball vibes. If not weird, but you know what I mean? So I enjoyed it, and that's one that I probably will read on and off as, kind of the years go on. But yeah, it's really interesting. But as it went along, it definitely lost me. I think it's Stone Ocean where like I am having a hard time getting into that one. But anywho's, Dustin has no clue. He's just like, all right, okay. Okay. Oh, what? I don't know what this is. So what'd you get?
So I picked up one book from, and it was actually a week before last, but we didn't do the show last weekend, so I didn't show it. It was actually in a slab. I literally had this book cracked out within maybe 10 minutes of opening it. But it is
Shouldn't put your stuff on drugs.
Huh?
You shouldn't put your comic books on drugs.
So it's a newsstand copy of Batman 423, that Todd McFarlane book. I bought this from Comic Head 84, my buddy Kenny. Man, he had this up for so cheap, and it was a 9.2. And this was one of those, I've told several people in talking to them about pressing and cleaning books for them. You can see there are defects and stuff you'll be able to see while it's in the slab, but because it's inside of a plastic slab and also inside of a plastic inner well, sometimes the way the light bends, it hides things. And so when you crack them, you get some surprises. So there was a couple of things on here that I was able to get out that I knew were there from the grader's notes and just being able to see them. But there were a couple of very, very small spine ticks that just happened to land right on the actual spine itself, which is black. So I don't know if I was hoping that I could get like a 9.6 out of it. Now I'm just hoping I can get the 9.4. If it comes back a 9.2, it's no problem. Especially for the price that Kenny had this up for.
And what was it before?
It was a 9.2.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a 9.2. And I was really thinking 9.6 until I got it cracked open and I was able to actually inspect the spine part of it, which you can't really see as good in the slab because you have that double pane piece of plastic there. But I mean, that book was priced. He had that. I saw later on that same day, excuse me, a direct 9.0 sell for $150 more than I bought that one for. And
that's wild.
So Kenny had that thing priced to go, and I saw it at like 4:00 in the morning. I just happened to be. It was one of the very few days I actually had some work to do, and I rolled over, turned my alarm off, picked my phone up. I was just perusing through, checking messages, and I saw that book pop up, and I saw the price, and I was like, nobody's claimed this. And I saw he had just posted it like in the middle of the night, so I claimed it immediately. And there was another guy on there asking questions about will you do out of the states shipping and this, that, and the other, but he didn't claim it yet. So I was like, all right, it's not claimed yet. Like, sorry, I'm about to swoop in here and take this from this man. But yeah, that was really cool to be able to pick that up. Yeah, Dan, we definitely are going to do that. Maybe next weekend or the weekend after that, we can try to get that going, Dan. I'll be in touch with you, but you guys have a good show, man. Y'all do your thing. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I'll be tuning in for Hustle Mania in 2 weeks. I don't know that I'll get to watch much tonight, but you guys have a great show. But yeah, I was really excited to pick that up. I had that one copy that I was able to pick up early on when we first started getting into collecting, and I traded that and the 9.6 Killing Joke to you for a 9.8 Killing Joke. And then that book just blew up, and then neither one of us really realized how nice that copy was that I traded you until the book started blowing up. But it
Don't
was
worry,
good.
I
I
got the
mean, you
money
were
out
able
of
to.
it.
I was gonna say, I'm glad you were able to get some money out of that to kind of make that trade a little more legit. I felt good about that. But it's just one of those books, man. Like it's not been something I've been like eagerly searching for, but when I
Yeah.
saw the deal on it, I was like, that's kind of hard to pass up. So, and I was initially from the pictures that I saw of it, I was thinking maybe because I did see in the notes there was some pressable defects. I was like, well, if that's all it is, because it says nothing about color breaks in the
Yep.
notes, this has got like 9.8 potential just from reading the notes,
Yep.
and the newsstand 9.8 is like almost non-existent. I don't know. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Now, a direct 9.8 goes for like 2,500, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine what a newsstand. I mean,
Yeah.
so that was my initial thought. So we're gonna see what happens with it. We're gonna see what happens with it. I'm gonna enjoy having it for a little bit. But if work doesn't pick back up, that's probably gonna be one that I have to put on the Chalkman block pretty soon. So um, we'll see. We'll see. Hoping it doesn't happen, but we'll see. So, but yeah, that was pretty much it for me on pickups. Oh, I did pick up. Let me get this folio real quick.
Oh, hey, make sure you bring my Lord of the Rings books tomorrow.
Yeah, I literally just took them off of this store folio.
Cool.
I've got them sitting right in here with my because since we're going to talk about how we prep for cons, I've got all my stuff already on this table here, and your books were right there with them so that I don't forget them. Dadgummit. Okay, so obviously everyone knows I've been like nuts, Fantastic Four nuts here lately. And I picked up that record reprint of Fantastic Four #1. But outside of those, some of the first reprints that I'm aware of were these Marvel milestones. And a lot of people don't think about these being valuable. But if you go search and look at prices of 9.8s on these Marvel milestones, holy Santa Claus shit. I mean, some of these things are hitting $300-$400 in 9.8, and I'm talking about like those are sold prices. So I picked up the Marvel Milestones Fantastic Four Annual #2, and this is one of those that is like a $350 9.8. Last time I checked, which is a Fantastic Four #5, First Doctor Doom. I've had those two for a few weeks now, but I picked this one up yesterday for like $5, and it's Fantastic Four #1, Marvel Milestones. So I'm interested to see what I can get out of these. They've got some pressable defects, but this silver ink on this paper is really funky to work with in the press because I did press the Fantastic Four #5, and it didn't damage it or hurt it, but it gave it like an awkward, like I could tell because I had just seen it prior, but I could tell like there was a little bit of a different sheen to it. So I was like, might need to back up and think about what to do on this. Change the heat setting a little bit, maybe dial down on that or something. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to find a couple of beaters to work with and really
practice on.
do to make sure that I don't do any harm to those books, because those Marvel milestones are really, really cool. Especially, I thought it would be really cool to have a matching set of these big Fantastic Four books in the Marvel milestones. So we'll see what happens with that, though. We'll see.
Yep. So
I need. They were like near mint copies, so I was like, man, I mean, for $5 or $10, I'm not gonna sweat it if it doesn't hit a 9.8. So, Harry, dude, I've so been thinking for the last couple of days about what would be a good weekend to set up our OG late night live. And I think what I might end up doing is just putting everybody in one of those
Super chats.
Not super chats, but the group chats that we all hate, but sometimes are necessary just to see how everybody feels about it, who wants to be a part of it, who doesn't, and what weekends are going to work. Because we are definitely doing that shit, man.
So who all would we want in there?
Well, I think us, Perry, we got to have JB in there. We got to see if we can get Rod to come in there. John's Comics with Kids. If Chaos and Comics is not in his damn car in the damn garage on that live stream, it's definitely not going to be old school, in my opinion. So we got to have Chris in the garage or walking up and down the street, something with some sorry ass service on his telephone. We got to have that. Who else? Who else would be good? Man, I'm kind of blanking out on who else we used to have on there.
So I got Travis, John, Perry, Chris, JB. We said Rod.
Rod, yeah. I was thinking about Rod the other day. I haven't seen him do anything in a while. I was going to check up on him, and I completely forgot. What a shithead. Okay. Yeah, I think that's like I mean, that's a definite like must-have group there. I think we got to do it at least once a year or something. We got to figure something like an annual, all of us get together and just show these young whippersnappers, these new kids, how we used to do it.
I'm literally just trying to get Perry and Bueller on the same stream again, so I can talk some schmack.
I've been enjoying the hell out of Perry's Mortal Kombat reels, and it's definitely been making me want to go back and get those because I used to love that crap. We accept that one of us.
Well, Chris Barrett, what's happening?
Appreciate it. I didn't see what the super chat itself said, but
it just said became a member, so I think it maybe is renewing.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it, man. Gotta rep the brand a little bit, man. Especially
you gotta rep the set.
Especially tomorrow at the show. I was trying to think. I almost went with like a bright ass pink shirt and black lettering, and then my wife talked me out of it. She's like, "Why don't you go black and just put bright logo on it?" I was like, "Okay, I can do that. That might be a little better." I wanted it to be something that stood out. So, but man, guess what? I saw hit the one of the trending lists. It wasn't the Key Collector Comic Tom one. It was one of the other ones. I saw Lords of the Long Box and JB talking about it. But it was a book that I don't know, a couple of years ago, people were just laughing and saying, "Oh, that's a stupid book to get graded in a 9.8. How do you think that book's ever going to be worth anything? There's probably millions of them out there."
Was it a Mortal Kombat book or a Jurassic Park?
It was my first one, dude. The Hollow Foil #1.
Oh, yeah?
9.8 is going freaking nuts right now.
Why?
There's not very many of them out there. You can't find the damn things. I think there's only like 8 9.8s out there. And it being a really heavy cardstock with that like a holographic foil on it. I mean, one ding and it's done. Like you're not getting any of it out. So of course I didn't get it graded because I give a shit about what it was going to be worth later on, but it is pretty damn cool to see a book I paid $20 for that I had to hunt down on Instagram by searching hashtags. And I paid $20 for it raw and got it graded. It had a 9.8 and it was the first one on the census, and I've had it this whole time, and it's definitely one of my favorite books. Definitely one of the coolest damn covers out there.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool though to see that book was on the one of the hot lists right now, going kind of crazy. So I know I saw a couple of months ago they were talking about raw copies going for like $380 on eBay. And I was just like, damn, man, I'm glad that is not one of the ones I'm still looking for to complete my set, because that would suck. But I kind of knew early on, I knew which ones I needed to get and secure first. And there's only one that I have not out of those. And it's that Katana and Melina one. I've got like 5 or 6 copies, but Unless I catch somebody sleeping, I'm not. They're all right. There a couple of them are right on the cusp of like maybe a 9.8, maybe a 9.6. So, and there's only like 7 copies graded, and some bastard on Instagram buys them up every time they come up for sale. He's like buying all of them off.
Who's he talking about, Dustin?
That's what I'm talking about, man. I was so happy about that for you, man. That book was hard for me to tell what it was. I knew it was going to be 9.4, 9.6. I wasn't sure how they were going to handle it if, but I was just like, I got it all out of it. I spent, there's not a speck of dirt on it. There wasn't a crease, not a indent, nothing. I think I ended up pressing it twice. The second time just to make sure. Same thing with that Nova that we hit a 9.6 on. So, yeah, I was very, very proud of that submission for you, man, for sure. Got your last 2 books on your current submission in the press right now. So you're going to be all set by the end of the weekend, probably.
Oh, by the way, guys, Dustin's birthday was November 1st. Can we give him a big happy birthday?
Oh, we don't have to do that. We can totally just forget that ever happened.
Dustin turned 35.
No, bullshit.
What up,
Oh,
Barami?
that's good, Russ. That's good, dude. Hopefully this other one that I've got, hopefully that one hits, 9.4, 9.6 too. That'd be awesome.
Yes. Happy birthday to Dustin.
Yes,
I really wanted to
I am
both
33, guys, not 35. I was born 1989. I am not that damn old like Russell. I think he's almost 40.
You could be worse. You could be Travis and be like 92. Anyway, I am disappointed with Comics with Bueller and Bob. I was really hoping that when they did their show together, I know Bob was down, so like I'm being facetious or don't take that seriously, but I was like, they were asking for ideas. I said, talk about my mustache. It's great.
Oh,
and I was really hoping that like I would get like a 3-second. Oh, let's talk about Two Brothers Comics, the handsome one's mustache, and then just like a close up. I wasn't expecting a big shout out. Just
nah, I figured he would dismiss that. He probably doesn't even. He's not even in tune with that whole.
I don't know. I bet you he's watching right now and just not commenting.
Nah, he's got more important things to be doing. He's
Yeah.
camping this week, I think. You're 23. Okay. You are 5 years older than me, sir, and I am well aware of that.
So anyways, so there's and again, guys, we're not going to be going for 4 hours tonight.
Yeah.
Dustin's got to finish up some stuff on the press, and not only that, but I got to get up at the butt crack of dawn because
right.
I'm meeting everybody over in Atlanta, but the time zone change makes it like an additional hour for me.
Yeah,
Not
I told
really,
him
but if
he's
that makes
late,
sense.
if he's late, he's gonna be standing in line with everybody else because we're not waiting on him.
Yeah, I mean, I have my alarm set at 5:30 a.m. So, but anyways, there was something I was going to bring up to the group here, and Dustin. It is so funny that you posted this because I have a screenshot of it on my phone.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was this
Some
close.
I think some people took the way I worded, and sometimes I worry about how I word things. And like Ryan's a good person that I usually
Yeah.
bounce stuff off of. Like, hey, does this sound like I'm being a dick? And he's brutally honest. So, but I think people took the way I worded this or what I was trying to say here a little bit out of the context in which I was trying to word it. But
Yeah. Well, so my big thing with this is exactly the way you put it. I think it is shady as hell. Look at this, guys. A 4.5 Incredible Hulk 181 for $2,000. Would you pay for that in a 4.5? Absolutely. I think for a 4.5, I think that's a
Yeah.
pretty solid, fair price.
yeah,
And 1,800 if you're a subscriber, so no big deal. So I'm like, if I saw it, I was like, man, that's not bad, but let's look at the fine print here where they don't show you. And this is a local shop to me. Whenever I was going to post it, it's not going to go any closer. Anyways, right here, very small, kind of at the very bottom, incomplete, missing one full page. So it is not a 4.5.
no,
It's not even close to a 4.5. It's a
No.
0.5. It may present as a 4.5.
yeah, and that was the problem. They even
Yeah.
they were commenting on their Facebook page saying, I graded it based on how it presents. It's like, no, fuck that, dude. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
I don't
So
get to, this book right here, I don't get to sell this for 7.5 price because it presents like a 7.5 on the front cover.
exactly.
It's a 5.5,
Bingo bango.
and so it's that was my thing, and I was basically putting it up saying like my whole thought process on it is regardless of your feelings towards CGC or CBCS or PGX or whoever, unless you are one of those companies, you should, in my personal opinion, you should not be selling something and putting that numerical grade on it for two reasons. First one is cover your own ass, dude, because if it don't come back a 4.5, you look like a real dickhead. That
Well, they
customer's
do
not
anyway, so I don't think they care about that.
well, yeah. But that customer's not going to be happy, and they're damn sure not going to want to buy from you again, especially if it's someone and I already know we've got people that are going to say, "Oh, well, newbies should educate themselves before spending that much."
Yeah, that you know what, Russell, F the whole presenting as a 4.5.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
right. It's a 0.5.
Yeah. But I know there's a lot of people that have no mercy on new people in the hobby. But I
That's not
know
us.
within my first year when I was just learning what the grades meant, if I saw that, my first thought would be, okay, if I send this in, it's gonna get a 4.5.
Yep.
It's going to.
Yep. So check
So
this
that
out.
makes you look really bad there. Number two,
Yeah.
you have no business putting that grade on there. And again, regardless of how you feel about these grading companies, the people that are on the payroll there that are putting these grades on these books, essentially they are professional graders. At that, they are getting paid money to grade comic books. That makes them professional graders.
Yep.
This comic book shop, this guy's not a professional grader. So you have no business putting that there, And I even said on there, I was like, I like to try to do like good, very good, fine, fine, very fine, near mint plus, near mint minus, and even sometimes I don't like doing that. And that was something that I thought Bronze Age Nerd really brought up a good point on, because I do that a lot too. If it's close between, like, it could be a fine, it could be a very fine, or it might be a good now. But if you get it worked on, it could go from being a VG to a VF. So I like what he said. You've got low grade, mid grade, high grade. End of story. End of
Yeah.
story. But the fact that it is so that was like my main thing other than talking about the missing page, was just the fact that you're not a professional grader. You should not be attaching those numerical grades to those books. Because it's gonna, for multiple reasons. And my buddy Sean, he does that all the time. And I've told him before, I'm like, bro, you got to stop doing that, man. Cause like somebody's gonna buy some shit from you, bro. And I know you know what you're talking about, but what somebody buys something from you, you said was an 8.0, and something happens between them, shipping it in and it getting graded, maybe it gets bumped around, hits a 7.5, like, bro, they're gonna come looking for you. So
Yeah.
And he's my boy, but me and Sean, that's just kind of the relationship. If he sees, he'll give me advice on things and how to, if he sees that I could word something differently or price something differently, and vice versa. So but I know a lot of people do that, and I think just as a seller in general, protect yourself and don't put those numerical grades.
Yeah.
Just because if nothing else, it covers your behind.
Yeah. So check this out though. If he's selling is at a 4.5, like quote unquote 4.5, right? You're looking at it, me as a new person, like, oh, it last sold for $3,600. He has it listed for 2,000. Oh, I need that book. But then he'd go down to a 0.5, which it really is. And there's a ton of 0.5s, right? But you're looking last sale 1,000, 1,500, 1080. Hell, there's a 3.0i there.
Do any of those say do any of those 0.5s say missing page?
Yeah, so centerfold missing, incomplete, 1345.
Yeah.
One just
So
says flat out incomplete,
yeah, so
1500.
that's what
Front
it's
cover,
gonna
first
say.
page.
That's what
Yeah, incomplete, 1650. So, like, dude.
it's incomplete, and if it affects the story, that's what's gonna kill your grade too.
Yeah.
And what page was missing? I forget what page it was, but I bet it is affecting the story, you know?
Yeah,
It's not like it's missing the Marvel value stamp,
for sure.
you know? If it was missing the Marvel value stamp and you put a 4.5 on it, it's still not cool at all, but that would be 1,000 times better than it missing a whole by God page.
Mhm.
And you know, a lot of people on that post, which are probably people who tend to maybe do the same kind of thing. And if you do, like, whatever, man, that's on you. If you're good with it, then you're good with it. But a lot of people were defending it, saying, well, it's on there. What else do you want? And I'm like, yes, it is on there, but it is that backdoor way of when it comes back and it doesn't hit. It's like, well, it says right on there it's missing. The 4.5 is this big, and the
Yeah.
actual context of the book, what is going to determine the grade of the book, is very small. So, all right, Russ, appreciate it, man. Talk to you later, brother.
So, and I'm looking on the post, and he put out that from now on he's going to start putting a Q in front of any grades like that he does to make sure it's qualified. So,
And see, I don't even know if they're going to grade that qualified. That I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't
I've
know,
got
because I
that
know
CGC
MVS you
book,
would
and
get
see,
like the
that's one reason. Like, a lot of people are giving me grief because I bought that CGC grading manual, but there's stuff like that I'm not sure of, like what dictates a 0.5 incomplete
yeah.
versus a 4.5 qualified. There are things like that I want to have a better understanding of, and that way, when I get books in, I can tell people, hey, I was going through your book, you're missing this, or this is gone. Or if they ask me, I can have the answers. I want to be as knowledgeable as I can with this. I mean, I am a part of the grading deal now at this point, so I feel like I need to have that knowledge. And it's nice to have the playbook for the game you're playing. I mean, because that's all this is with grading. It's just a big game, and I'd like to have the rule book so I can know, okay, what can I get away with and get this grade? What can I not get away with? And so that's something that I would definitely want to look at in there and see is what dictates whether it's going to get qualified or a 0.5 incomplete. I saw a post today on one of the Facebook groups. Guys missing a corner, a small like a corner of the first page was ripped out, and they gave him a freaking green label, a qualified. And I know that's bullshit. I know that. How many times have you seen books where 3/4 of the freaking cover are missing and they're still getting blue labels?
I have one, The Punisher.
Yeah, I mean,
My
so
129.
so where do you get off hitting this guy with a qualified because he's missing a corner of the first page? What? No, that makes no sense. I'm not buying that even for a second. And I told him that, and a lot of other people were agreeing. It's just like, and then obviously there was people that were trying to buy it like dirt cheap off the guy because he didn't know what it didn't seem like he was pretty new to everything. But it was actually the Fantastic Four issue where Ant-Man comes in for the first time, the Doctor Doom and Ant-Man cover.
Yeah.
So I was just like, dude, like, there's no way that should be a qualified, like, absolutely no way. And I start further questioning, what tier did you submit it in? Because that's going to be that definitely is going to affect the grade a lot of times, I have found in my experience. So I was curious just to know, like, when I see something like that's kind of out of pocket, like, I want to know all the details behind it.
Yeah.
So,
For
but I
sure.
thought that was nuts. Thought it was just wild.
It is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, anywho's, let's talk con prep before we end it. Comic-Con prep. That was one of the big things we were going to talk about. Dustin, how
Oh
do you
yeah, I did
prepare?
have the should we buy now or keep waiting. You want to give 10-minute conversation on that real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's we've only been you've only
It's been an hour.
Huh?
So it's been an hour.
Okay. Let's go 10 minutes on this conversation. Because I think this is something that I was hoping to get a little more into last night when I was on Josh's show, but the conversation burned out extremely quick there. Those guys are like herding cats, man. You can't keep them on track with nothing.
It's part of the fun of it. Unless you get Josh on Lord of the Rings, and then it doesn't move.
Right?
Which I love.
Yeah, when hot dogs and ice cream came into play, we just completely quit talking about comic books. But yeah, I think this is a good conversation though. Given the current state of the comic market, which we've talked on a lot lately, which I think it's important that it continues to be a conversation topic because it is at this point ever changing. But
Yep.
we see the constant prices decreasing week by week. I know at least
Day by day, nearly.
at least 3 to 5 times a week, I see a price of a book on Instagram that sits me back in my chair, and I'm like,
Yikes!
"Oh my god, dude! It is killing me that I'm not buying this book right now."
Yeah.
Absolutely killing me.
Yeah.
And then I try to sit and think, and I've been talking to my wife about it, and so that's why I want to talk to you and see what your thoughts were too.
It's only going to get worse.
Yeah. How long is it going to take before we think we're there? We're at the rock bottom, and this is where most of these books are going to lie. Not everything, but your major books. And I'm not talking about Ultimate Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And
No, I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's going to consistently continue to go down. I mean, we're seeing even the MCU news isn't really popping anything up right now, and it's totally tied to the economy. And I don't care what anybody says, but
for sure,
housing's crashing, layoffs are happening left and right now in the tech sector. Manufacturing is really the strongest piece of the pie right now in terms of the economy, and even then is going to be affected as these consumer PC products.
For the last like month, my wife can't even do like the online click list for groceries because they don't know what they have in stock. Like they're out of stock on so much stuff every week. Like she has to now she's got to go in like some kind of caveman and actually walk around with a buggy and go grocery shopping because 90% of the stuff she puts on the click list is never in stock.
Yeah. So I do genuinely think it's only going to continue to get a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse. We may not see massive dips, but whenever you're seeing ASM 1 and a 1.8 now down to $5,800,
did that not have your balls tingling a little, dude?
Yeah, but if I wasn't so worried that I don't know what's going to happen long term with in my role, like right now, totally fine. We're doing great. 6 months to a year, we don't know what the economy is going to be like, and that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's so nerve wracking. I'm like, maybe I need to go ahead and just start selling stuff, just in case it keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and go ahead and have that money in case we're in a long term recession.
Yeah.
But who knows, right? In 6 months, we could pick back up. I don't think that's going to happen. But honestly, it's totally tied to everything that's happening in the economy. Some of the biggest sectors are being hit. We're seeing what I do for a living. Like I'm really involved in kind of what's happening in employment and stuff. And you're seeing massive layoffs from big companies, obviously Twitter, but it's happening a lot more across, San Jose as a whole, right? What do you call it? Silicon Valley. You're seeing it happen across basically every sector except for manufacturing, really. And even semiconductors, which at a time recently was very stable, is now, what's happening? You're seeing Seagate, you're seeing Intel announce things, AMD. And if you're not familiar with these companies, these are really big players in commercial PC products as well as large scale things. So it's interesting what's happening. And inflation is just outrageous. And if you have to choose between buying groceries and paying for your $9 a gallon of gas, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna pay for that, not comic books. So I think we're in a continuously a rough. Yeah, dude. AMD was upwards of $300 a share. And now it's down to less than, was it 30 or was it 60? It was one of those two. But yeah, AMD, man, was just outrageous.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So
AMD
you're
stock.
definitely on the. You're still not buying anything.
No, because I think it's going to continue to dip. But yeah,
So let's talk ASM 1.
like it would need to
1.5.
be.
What does that got to get to before you just you can't contain yourself
It
anymore
would
and you
have to
got to
be
do it?
less than 2K before I'd be like, oh my god, I need to go ahead.
Wow, $2,000, bro.
2 grand is where it would need to be at, like less than 2K before I'm like, okay.
See, I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have like if I saw 1.8 for 25 to 3, that would really start tugging at me.
But again,
And I'm
yeah,
not even like everybody knows, like I'm not a
yeah,
Spider-Man guy, but if nothing else, just to hold it because when it goes back up, I'll just sell it to you.
I'm telling you, dude, it's
But I
wild.
mean, but so that's been kind of the thing that's been pulling at me. The only thing that's been stopping me is just my work's been so inconsistent, since like
Yeah,
July. I don't know if I'm working today, tomorrow. Like, I mean, it's pretty much I get a call sometime during the day today to let me know I'm working tomorrow.
yeah,
And then we go in today and realize, oh, well, nobody checked this job out. And the stuff we were told we would need is not what we'll need. So we'll have to come back Monday. So I got like 4 hours in today. And that was just because I don't crank my truck unless I'm getting paid for 4 hours at this point. So,
Hmm.
but that's what's killing me and holding me back to an extent.
yeah,
But and I talked to my wife about this the other day. I was just like, because I've really been eyeballing
dang,
an FF number 6.
yeah,
I can't afford number 5, and I don't think number 5 is gonna get down enough to where I can.
yeah,
I really don't see something like that getting that low. But number 6 is the gap is huge between
yeah,
6 and 5, as it should be
yeah,
because it is a second appearance. I do not agree with the first villain team up key factor that's been attached to it, and I still want to do a video on that. But I do not agree with that because
mhm,
Doctor Doom and Submariner, they were not a team. Doctor Doom was controlling Submariner and using him to do his bidding.
yeah,
He was more like a mental slave. But anyway, not to even get off on that. But I believe that book has staying power over the next 5
yeah.
years.
And there's
So
very
there's
few
stuff
books
like
like that,
that
though.
I'm keeping an eye on, but I'm still, like you said, I'm like, well, okay, a 3.0 just sold for like 500 under FMV, and then it does it again,
Yeah,
and then it does it
everything's
again,
dropping.
and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna buy yet. Like it still has room to drop. Like if
Yeah,
like it can still drop some more. And I was like, I'm gonna see what the next one sells for. And I'm telling my wife, I was like, one of two things is gonna happen. One, that book is gonna get so stupid low, I'm gonna buy more than one of them.
Hmm.
Or two, I'm gonna wait too damn long.
yeah.
And it's gonna turn around on me and I'm gonna miss out on having that book in my collection.
But I think we'll
So
see the massive, right? We saw constant gains, and that was
oh yeah,
pretty
we saw it
gradual
coming. We
over
saw it.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
This crash was way faster,
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
faster.
And I still don't know that I would consider it to be a crash
No,
yet.
dude. Look, I don't care what in my mind, whenever you have a 1.8 ASM selling for less than half of what it was going for
Yeah,
6
but
months ago,
it's
dude, we're
still
crashing.
selling for more than it was in 2020 or
Yeah, but if you
2019.
calculate inflation and that kind of stuff, it's probably still very similar. Honest to God, I really do believe we're in a crash. I think
Yeah,
we're in a
I mean,
market crash.
yeah, I mean, I didn't consider factoring that in.
And I'm not
Um,
saying like inflation's the end all be all, but like
right.
maybe it's just a little bit more. But dude, we're crashing, right? Like even if we haven't fully crashed,
Yeah.
we're amidst a crashing
It's like I told Josh last
downward
night.
spiral.
I think we've definitely cruised past a market correction
Yeah.
at this point. Market correction was early this year into the summer.
Yeah.
From late August till now,
Yeah.
shit is nosediving left
Well,
and
see,
right.
I'm wondering if it's doing what it's doing because of all the quote unquote investors that were like big into doggy coin and Pokemon cards.
And
They've
this
all
is what I
dropped and
wanted to
ran.
talk with Josh and them about last
Yeah.
night, and we didn't get to it. So I'm glad you brought that up. But go ahead.
No, just basically, everybody like the Logan Pauls of the world and people trying to mimic Logan Paul and like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna invest all my money in
They're dipping
Dogecoin
out, bro. They're dipping out
or
hard.
Pokemon cards or now comic books. Look at the money you can flip there.
Yep.
All the quick flip investors or the people, if they're
Yeah.
just like
They
tuck their tail and
bought all
running.
this shit up in
Yeah.
2020 and 2021, and now they can't get rid of it, and they're looking like today.
What's up, bro?
Mike at Killer Finds, he sent me a picture of some Something's Killing the Children books. Second print, number 1, 9.8.
Yeah,
Another issue, 9.8. I think it was like number
for sure.
4, number 3 or number 4 or something, and some raw copies. And he asked me, he said, "Do you see $1,500 worth of books here?" I said, "Fuck no." I said, dude, I said, I don't even know if that would have been $1,500 2 years ago when that series was literally the most white hot scorching thing on the planet. I don't know that would have hit that. I said, dude, right now, I said, I can go to more than one Instagram page and buy a 9.8 first print A cover for $500. I said, dude, that book was going for $1,250, $1,400. I was like, that whole series, I said, stay away from that, dude. I said, don't even. He's like, no, I told him no. He said, I checked FMV and like he was wanting more than FMV. I said, damn FMV, don't even look at cover price, go collect none of that. And I sent him screenshots from eBay and I'm like, look, I was like, this book right here, your second print, number 1, I said, it's selling for almost $100 cheaper than what the FMV on it is that you just showed me. And this was 2 days ago. I said, I said, you can't even pay attention to that anymore. You can't pay attention to last eBay solds either, because by the time you purchase something based on today's last sold price, by the time you get it in 5 days, there's going to be 3 or 4 more copies that have sold for probably 25% less than what you just paid for that one. And that's what Josh and I were talking about last night. And we've spoke about it through text messaging too, because I just like with John, I text Josh and just checking in, like, are you okay? Is how bad is this hurting you right now? I mean, just the small amount of stuff that I purchased when I was trying to move myself into to working with comics full time is killing me. I was like, I can't imagine what it's doing to him. And I was talking to him, and these guys can't even buy collections because, say somebody brings a collection in and the collection's worth $5,000. Well, they got to get these collections for like 1,500 to 2,000 just to make sure by the time that they go through these books, pull out the keys, press and clean them, send them to get graded, and get them back. They got to have enough room right there so that if that book drops by 40%,
which they're
not going to lose money. And these and who's going to take a $5,000 collection and sell it for $1,500? Nobody doing that.
Nope.
And that's hurting everybody that runs shops and stuff like that, I can imagine. But it's like I told Josh, I'm kind of a double-edged sword because, I'm sitting right now looking at this stack of graded comic books that I bought raw, and I bought them to press and clean them, to get them graded, and to sell them.
Yeah.
I picked the right books. I got them for the right prices. I knew if I paid this for these books and they hit these grades, then my profit margin was this. And I hit the grades I needed to for that profit margin. I did not factor in the comic book market shit in the bed in the middle of this. And I put these books up for sale. I put them up on Facebook, 2 different Instagram pages that do consignment sales.
Yep.
I've put them up on live sales on YouTube. I've put them up for sale inside comic shops. I've taken them to comic book conventions. I have tried to build mystery boxes. Like, I have done everything I can, and I not one has moved. And when I had them for sale in the shops or online and stuff, I'm like, man, I can't believe people aren't grabbing these because I've got them priced under the last eBay sold. I don't even look at FMV. Like, what is the last eBay sold? I'm pricing it under that.
Yeah.
Well, that's because by the 3-4 days after I'm sitting there, you go back to eBay and look, and it's like, well, shit, this book dropped $300 in 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, that's why nobody's buying the damn thing.
Yep.
So, and
what up, Bueller?
Side note, for everybody that passed on those mystery boxes I made, believe me, I understand $500 is a lot of money right now. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Not mad at you at all. But I will say, bro, them some bitches were loaded.
Yeah. I saw them
over $700 in value on them easily. Plus, I was throwing in $50 credit pressing and cleaning. And like I was telling Nick, obviously, it 6 months ago's prices cannot factor into it. But if you looked at the prices of everything I had in these boxes from 6 months ago, it was well over $1,000 in each box easily. But hey, like I said, I know $500 was a lot, and so I wasn't mad at it. I was mad a little bit about the bastards that claimed them, and then, oh, these aren't free. Like, really, guy? Yeah, I'm giving out thousands of dollars worth of books for free because I'm just that mother effer.
So real quick, Bueller, I am, was really hoping you and Bob would put out another coffee video that was so nostalgic, and I really appreciated the last one. Also, I was hoping my wonderful mustache was going to get a bit of a highlight for my comment, but it's fine. Bob was sick. I hope he's doing better.
Yeah.
But my mustache, we're a little hurt.
What's up, Rob?
Heck yeah.
Rob says,
bring up some more Kanto.
Rob says, when the first tactical nuke gets used, odds drop 50-50. Meanwhile, tomorrow I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to pay $300 for Fantastic Four in the 20s, 30s.
Nice.
You ain't lying, dude. You ain't lying. In the midst of nuclear holocaust, I'm still getting comics. Rob said, dude, I'm right there with you, man. Like, I am so far beyond worrying about, can I make money on these books later on?
What up,
if
Nosh?
It's something I'm buying from my collection. I'm like, good, I mean,
Steve,
like, I wrecked my truck. I wrecked my brand spanking motherfucking new truck 2 weeks ago. You know what my first thought was? What? This is really going to fuck up me being able to go to this Comic-Con and spend any money. All the bullshit that this is about to create for me, that's where my head goes. Damn, am I going to have to pull something off my wall to pay for this damage? That's where my mind goes. Like, what else can I get rid of? What can I do so that I don't have to lose a book on my wall? Like, that's where my mind goes. I am so sick with this stuff. It's incredible. Oh, I have insurance. What I didn't have was well, I'm not going to get into that, but I got hosed. I got pinned with it, with the fault of the incident, and there's absolutely no way. I went yesterday to have the truck looked at by the dealership for the insurance estimate, and the lady was looking at it, and she was like, "So what happened?" And I told her. So I showed her pictures of the woman's car. She was like, "How the hell are they saying that you did this?" She was like, "There's no way you sideswiped her and did with enough force and power to crease not only the doors, but the frame that the doors connect to. The cross member was creased."
Yeah.
She's like, "There's no way." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "She pretty much T-boned me, but that's what happened, I guess. I don't know. Pissed me off. I almost went to jail that day. That was...
Well, I texted your wife because I quit hearing back from you. I was like, "Is Dustin okay?" She said, "No, not really." I said, "That's not what I meant." I said, "Is he in jail?"
Yeah. It was close, dude. It was close.
Because I told her, I said, "Okay, I was just worried he was going to, like, lose his mind."
Yeah. Yeah. It was very, very close.
Oh, Perry, I have some Xbox and Xbox 360 games that we've pulled out of storage. I need to send a picture of, and just if, like, you're interested in that kind of stuff. I know you just bought some, but Sky was wanting to sell them in our yard sale. We did. I was like, "No, I know a guy that may want them, and you're that guy." So
That's
Norn
good. I like
Rad.
that, Rob.
Yep.
One day today will have been 20 years ago. Ensure you're healthy and don't do anything to take away your purchasing power just for an immediate fix. Yeah,
That
absolutely,
does
man.
suck. You ever just sit back and you go, man,
Oh, all the time, and it crushes me inside to have those conversations and talk about it. So,
we won't do that.
but yeah.
We got all right. So
So
we got a
so
few
all
more
in all,
minutes.
I guess Nick and I both agree right now. As far as us, like we're still holding off on making purchases on big books at this point, even though these prices look really good. I think we both have the same mindset that I have not died because I don't have a Fantastic Four number 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 in my collection. So it's worth the gamble for me to push it off and just sit back and wait, keep stashing my money, and know that I'm in a comfortable position to make the purchases. And hey, take the gamble that they're going to continue to drop, and I'll get an even better deal. Because
True.
you and I can both probably agree that the best thing that could happen to another person besides me that is looking for a Fantastic Four number 5 is that I buy one, because the next day that son of a bitch is going to go 50% less for somebody else, and that's a guaranteed fact.
Probably.
So if you're looking, y'all pay attention to what I buy, because I promise you, there's two things, and multiple people have noticed this over the years. If I get on here or anywhere, if I start talking about a book that I'm looking for, a book that I'm interested in getting into, or a run of books I'm interested in getting into, that is not something that is common, I wouldn't say common, but it's not like anything people are just out there actively looking for. It's not in any hot list or anything. When my ass starts getting interested in it, though, every time, bro, it shoots to the moon. I started putting together those what if runs. Oh, what's that? We got some what if TV shows coming out. Well, hell yeah. I mean, it's guaranteed. So pay attention to the shows, whatever I say that I'm kind of looking to pick up soon. Like that's going to be the next hot books. If I just paid big money for something, be on the lookout, because this is probably going to be dropping in price pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, I think that waiting and seeing what's going to happen financially for me, and I know for you too, but our financial situations are on opposite ends of the spectrum. So much more for me, financially responsible is be more responsible to definitely take the gamble and wait. One, so that I'm not putting money out now that I might need later, and two, so I'm not overspending now when I could underspend later. So
Yeah,
because
I think there's still plenty of room.
yeah, and but I think we can both agree that this is not like it's gonna all die, and it's never gonna come back, and the prices aren't ever gonna go up.
No, there's gonna be
They may not go back up to 2020 prices in 5 years, but that doesn't mean that this is not gonna rebound. So everybody that's been crying and complaining like me, because I have cried and complained with the best of them about these gosh darn freaking prices over the last couple of years. Now is our time, baby, and we got to get out here and shine as soon as we have that opportunity. But I do think it is a lot of these people who jumped in over the last couple of years and we're just spiking prices up on stuff left and right.
Yeah.
And you can see them now; they're dumping stuff.
Yeah.
They are running scared, getting out of the game, and dumping stuff. I literally see people get pissed off in the comment section on Elite Comics and Grails all the time when I see someone put up an Ultimate Fallout 4 9.8 for less than $2,000. People are like, "What the fuck are y'all doing, man? You're killing the market, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, hey, homeboy is probably hurting for money right now and realize that you know what, this book is diving and I'm about to be to the point where it's selling for less than I spent on it. I got to sell it now. I got to sell it today. And if you want to do that, you've got to have the best price on the planet if you want it to sell right then. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And, I don't see it as a bad thing that a lot of these guys that, guys, girls, whoever jumped into this hobby because they saw money and they have no other interest. I don't, for me personally, as a collector, bye, Felicia. See ya. Because hey, I'm gonna pick them up cheap now. So I hate it for the people who spent the money in it.
Yeah,
And,
Bueller, it's
losing the
crashing.
money on it.
Hold on,
That
hold
sucks.
on.
But hey, everybody knows how this game works. So
Bueller, yes, comics are crashing
I know he
horribly.
knows.
And see this note for us why. It's not funny. It's actually terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, hey, as long as I don't have to worry about a tow truck pulling up in my driveway or somebody knocking on my door with one of them red letters, I'm gonna keep buying comic books as responsibly as I can. And just like I said, as collectors, for those of us who have been extremely defeated by seeing books that we just we weren't able to get there yet. We were close on some books. We were right there. A couple more months and we'd be able to afford that one book, and then they just shoot through the freaking sky. Now's our time, baby. We got to go get these books, man. Get them while the getting's good.
Go get that bread.
Get two of them. Get one for you and your boy, and y'all just sit back and hey, enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
Just kidding. All right.
White Shadow, what's up, dude?
What's up? Comics by the Bay.
What's up? What's up?
White Shadow, what's going on? The bus people
don't pay attention to the economy. Yeah, right now Bueller's like, he's living like from one driveway to the next. He was staying in someone's driveway, and then I think he was house sitting for someone, he said, and then he was going camping. I'm like, bro, you live in like you literally live camping. What do you mean you're going camping?
He lives the dream.
He does. It's sickening. It's sickening, man.
He lives down by the bay.
Like, I can see Bueller's biggest worry outside of like, something going wrong with the bus. Outside of that, like his biggest issue is like, oh man,
what is he gonna eat?
I gotta throw this bag of shit away from my in the bus. Where I gotta find somewhere to throw it away. Like, like all the batteries died on my bike. Now I gotta wait to leave the bus to charge it up. Must be a rough life that Bueller guy's living.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of.
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Yeah,
I definitely was hurting for him whenever the bus had some issues. I was glad to see it wasn't that big a deal. So
yeah, because like what was it, white smoke? That normally means if it's like an actual head gasket and overheating.
Yeah. All right, Rob. Look, man. Shh! Don't be telling everybody everything, bro. Come on.
Oh,
bro.
in Prop Store, they have comic books on their auction house too.
There ain't nothing on Craigslist ever, guys. Everybody knows that Craigslist is dead now. Facebook Marketplace is where you go look for stuff. Don't be going to Craigslist. There ain't nothing there.
All right, so let's talk. I'm going to show this because I don't think a lot of
people let's do a real quick, like how we're prepping for cons.
So check this out. Propstore.com.
Prop Store.
They actually sell movie props. They're really well renowned.
See, I told you, Nick. Look.
What? Hold on.
Where does the poop go? That's the biggest issue he has. I knew it.
But they will actually get in here and sell some really nice comic books. It doesn't look like this go around they have many. But let's see.
Yeah, no shit, right, Manny? I can believe that, bro. Yeah. I don't have a pull list anymore. I haven't had a pull list for like 6 months. But congrats on buying that house, though. So what do you got going on here, Nick?
So I was just showing the Prop Store because they do sometimes have good comic books in here.
Oh, okay.
they had AF-15, Hulk 181 last auction go round. So there's some pretty neat stuff that they'll do. I'm seeing if it'll load. So some pretty cool stuff, like real deal Spider-Man stuff. A lot of movie props, stuff like that. So that's actually really cool. Prototype Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, Pumpkin
Or is
Bomb.
that Hobgoblin? No, it's not Hobgoblin. That's
It's Green Goblin.
It's from the movie. I didn't notice. I didn't think about it being from a movie.
And then that's the web slinger. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. This is a neat little stuff.
Go back. I want that, dude. Not that. Go back to that whatever page you were just on. Go back up. All the way to the top. Like all the way to the top. Oh, where did it go, dude? There was a piece of gold, dude. The piece of gold from the Pirates of the Caribbean. The one that in the first movie that they were that they were after. That was killer. I want the freaking the miniature
These?
Oh yeah, there it is, right. Nope, go down one. Yeah, baby.
Only starting at, so it's currently 2,750.
Was that screen used?
Let's see.
Because that was a huge part of that movie. It was in the very first scene and went all the way through the movie.
Yeah, from the first one.
Dude, that would be kick ass.
That's it right there.
There was also I think it was the 5th movie that they had a small model of the Black Pearl that they threw into the ocean, and then the Black Pearl, expanded and everything. But I've been wanting like a model pirate ship, and I was just like, oh, the Black Pearl, man, there it is. I want that movie prop.
Yeah.
Because there's not one out there. Like nobody makes one. So I'm like, that's like the only one.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Comic-Con prep. What are you bringing? What are you prepping?
All right. So my Comic-Con prep stuff has changed over the years. And a lot of times it changes just based on what my game plan is when I'm going there. Do I have money? And am I going with the intentions of buying certain books? But I always bring a backpack. Absolutely have to have my backpack. Now, what I put in it is always going to the deciding factor on how much I put in my backpack is whether I have a home base. So do I have a vendor that I know that is going to be there where I can stash my stuff, my backpack and everything? Because nobody wants to carry a backpack around and it gets sweaty on your back all day. That sucks. But 9 times out of 10, I know probably 3, 4, 5 vendors there, and somebody will let me stash a bag. But in the bag, I always got water. I always got some kind of nicotine, like these little guys here. I don't have to spit, so that's in there. But I always got my water, got my backpack. I used to only carry one of these guys, but now I carry up to 3 store folios to every show.
Yeah.
Because never know what you're going to find at these shows. And, you don't want to take the risk of buying something, expensive and now you don't have any way to protect it. And you just gotta, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go put it in the car and let it sit in the heat all day. You don't want to carry it around. First thing you're gonna do is sit it down, walk away, and then okay, that book's gone forever.
I've actually lost a book.
Folios, huh?
I've lost a book by sitting it down.
Yeah. So store folios are a must. I've even started bringing at least 1 Mylar with a full back because, again, maybe you buy that big expensive book and it's in a shit bag and board. Again, you want to make sure it's protected as much as possible. So I'll try to keep like a 4 mil Mylar and a full back in there so that, it's something. I've got a nice bag and board, sturdy back and board. Put it in the store folio. That way, if I put other stuff in there on top of it, it's not gonna, just try to prevent as much damage as possible. So the store folios are a must for me. Cash.
Yeah.
Cash for sure. I know almost every vendor at every show is taking credit cards, and a lot of them do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all that stuff. Green dollars, paper money, that carries a lot more weight, man. A lot more weight.
What up, JG? Oh, and JT was on here earlier. Hello. Yes, nerd supplies. I'm going to show mine off. I'm always prepared.
But I mean, it's gotten me before. When I sold my Batman Adventures 12, the Hulk 181, New Mutants 98. If Bobby hadn't have pulled out 50 stacks, bro. I mean, he pulls out 5 racks, and I was just like, that's a lot harder to walk away from than a PayPal transfer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a lot harder to walk away from. So, cash, absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing that I've recently started bringing with me is, hold on. And again, this is where the backpack comes in play.
For me, I always bring Imodium because con food sucks and it gives you diarrhea.
Trade bait. Bring some trade bait, man. If you've got some stuff sitting around that you're willing to let go of, if you just so happen to walk in there and see something you can't live without, and for a fact that you're a little bit light in the wallet, bring some trade bait, man. Because but you got to bring good stuff. You can't just bring in this week's hot cover that's going for $25 because they're going to give you like $5 for it, or they're going to tell you I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So I try to bring Silver Age key books, 1960 Batmans. This isn't a key, but it's a high grade Bronze Age cover that is something that's iconic. You got, again, Silver Age keys. This is 1969, so damn near Silver Age. This is the last one. This is all stuff that I'm taking with me tomorrow because God forbid I get up there and somebody has just something stupid on their wall, and it's just stupid price. And I'm like, damn, I would be comfortable buying that if it was just a little bit more off. And, maybe you take a $400 book and he takes $275 off the price and you both walk away happy. So, that's always a good thing for sure. Always put on deodorant before you go. I usually keep a bar in my con backpack as well, because it's never a bad idea if you're going to be there all damn day long. It's totally okay to touch up on the deodorant. That's always a good thing. Comfortable shoes. If it's cold outside, 9 times out of 10, I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm not wearing a hoodie. Even if we have to walk to the show, I froze my ass off walking to Lexington this past year because I know when we get in that building, it's going to be hot as hell. And I don't want to crowd my backpack with sweatshirts and jackets and stuff like that. So I'm going to be a little uncomfortable so that I don't have to deal with extra baggage once I get into the show. It's wall to wall.
So,
I mean,
it's funny that you say bring Febreze because I legit brought Febreze to the last couple of cons we were going to be at over a couple of days for multiple reasons because I was sharing a room with Dustin and Justin. But yeah, man, deodorant, Febreze, that's key.
Yeah.
And chapstick, right? So that's one. But like from our perspective, when we go and cover the events,
no doubt, Rob.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but what I bring, so this is the first time I'm breaking out the side bag. That's like it's not really a fanny pack, but it's the Peter McKinnon. It's the camera bag. And Dustin, you'll love that. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And look,
I can't see what is that? What is that embossment thing you're trying to show me?
Can you see it now?
Oh, okay. Jolly Roger.
Well, it's not really Jolly Roger, but yeah. And then on the inside, it says "Fly the Flag."
Yes.
So
bars, something.
Yes. So this is the way this bag's going to be loaded out this year, and then I have a camera clip so that I can a Peak Design camera clip.
Oh, that's neat.
Get the camera on and off. But the way I'm loading it up is I have all of my memory cards in this, right? Because when we do videos, taking photos, etc.
You guys can see right here, like we go to Comic Cons with two different mindsets. Nick is always
be contenting.
content oriented. I honestly could give a shit about y'all when I go to these shows. Like Nick has to wrangle me in. Hey man, we need to shoot some stuff.
Yeah.
My ass is in
Yeah.
boxes, digging under tables. Like
Yeah.
I ain't got time for y'all and making y'all something to watch. I'm at the damn comic book show, bro. I don't care.
So, and then another thing I always take with me is like a little small rig.
Yep,
It's kind of
always
a
good.
tool, and you never know when you need a pin. So just a El Cheapo little right in the rain pin that goes in, right? Oh, I need a battery pack. I'm glad we're doing this. So that goes in there, nice and snug.
I usually keep a
chapstick.
knife on me in my bag.
And then my charging cables, always keep those in there, right? Now the next big thing that's really important are these bad boys right here for good audio. So we take those with us, right? Because we don't want to be sounding, terrible. You know what I mean? We want to sound halfway decent. Yeah,
Same
but that
here,
battery
Rob.
pack, I got to pull one out. Because that camera could die. And then I bring my Sony A7 IV with my 24 1.4 millimeter lens. That's what I'm using now. And then I actually do have a why can't I? It's an ND filter. So it's the Peter McKinnon ND filter I have. Then I have my iPhone battery pack.
Yeah, I never think about bringing a backup charger for my phone, but at the same time, my phone does not get used very much. Check in with the wife. That's you calling me. Where the hell are you at? You were just standing here 10 minutes ago, and now I'm on the other side of the room.
Exactly. And then the other thing I have is a nice. I have a little pocket. It's a man pocket pouch, and it's got like Imodium, Benadryl, some booty
I
wipes,
always bring ibuprofen. The
ibuprofen.
gel caps, because nothing else works as good.
That's right. So that all goes in here. The camera sits in there in this big pocket, and then I have plenty of room for phone, some snacks. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you might need. But yeah, I am fully prepared, fully kitted out. And then this year, or this one, I'm going to bring the Joby Gorilla Pod. So hopefully, get some decent content.
Yeah, that's a good point too, Rob. The CLZ, like the different comic apps. Yeah, I definitely
GPA is
do.
my favorite.
Who?
GPA Comics is my favorite comic app or tech thing, if you will.
Now, does it show runs on? I guess it does show runs, but can you actually build a collection inside of it?
No, I don't know. For me, it's just prices.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like CLZ because I haven't kept mine as updated as I would like to, but if I'm looking for stuff and I'm having kind of a question, do I have this? Do I not have this? Or a lot of times CLZ is really good, especially like when you're looking at variants, because they're going to have almost everything on there. So like if you're trying to figure out like, what is this book? Like what variant is it? What year, what volume? Like CLZ is very helpful with a lot of that stuff outside of just categorizing your collection. It's helpful for all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, I always keep ibuprofen with me too, because last thing I want to do is be in the middle of an awesome con and catch a bad headache. I have a lot of neck issues, so it's pretty much a guarantee every day of my life I wake up with a horrific headache. So I don't want to be sitting there fighting a headache while I'm trying to enjoy the show. So and I like the snacks, glitter and duct tape, absolutely, because you don't want to get stuck paying those Comic-Con food prices, man. That stuff is expensive. And again, my mindset, man, do I really want to spend $9 on one hot dog and then another $4 on a drink? That's like $13 I could be spending on a comic, bro.
and then never forget to bring a good lanyard. Are you still
Yeah,
there?
for sure, Rob, for sure.
Kyle, that sounds awesome, man. Yeah, dude, gotta bring wipes. Good, like, they're called dude wipes. Pfft. And as a dad, it's actually more so I really bring them more so whenever I have a 3-year-old, but
I usually my wife, I keep it in my like, the front pouch of my book bag is literally like what you would consider a junk drawer at your house. Like,
yeah.
there's stuff in there that I don't even know why it's in there. I've got chapstick in there. I'm pretty sure that I still have some sanitizer in there that my wife had me put in there like 4 years ago. And it's still got some in there. I hit it a little bit throughout the day, just because them bags and boards are so nasty sometimes, and sometimes the guy that's digging in front of you is nasty. So, um, I keep a small pocket knife in there just because, not for like malicious reasons, but I mean,
I keep a pocket knife on me at all times. It's the greatest
yeah,
thing
I
in the
mean,
world.
I've been that way pretty much my whole life. Like, I mean, pocket knife is just like essential to my being at this point. But if some shit were to go down,
Dustin's gonna
hey,
pull out his
it's
2
better
incher and
than
get after
nothing.
you.
It's better than nothing. But yeah, I mean, it's more of a tool than anything, malicious or anything like that. I mean, really, a pocket knife is not going to be much for self defense anyway. But I've got band-aids that I used to keep in there for when you get those goddamn Mylar cuts and you don't want to be bleeding all over the books. um At one point, I thought about taking something that would stop me up on purpose so I didn't have to worry about going to the bathroom during the day. Like, I'm telling you, dude, I'm sick. Like, it it's so bad. I will be digging in a box here. And after about an hour of digging at this booth, my mind starts to wander and I'm like, what's that son of a bitch over there finding in that box? I wonder if I should stop digging here and go over there. I wonder if he just found something that I want. And I'm still digging, and I'm like, shit, there's like 55 books I have to go back and look at. Like, I can't. It's just it freaking consumes me the whole time I'm there. It just drives me. And Justin, it literally drives Justin up the wall to be at these shows with me sometimes. I think because he comes in very prepared with a list of books. That's what he's looking for, and he wants to go take lunch, and he wants to take a nap, and he refers to me as the Comic-Con Terminator. He's like, you have no stop. There's nothing but the wide open and go, and you don't want to eat, you don't want to do this, you don't want to stop. I'm like, no, dude, nope.
And
I'll
Justin and
put a
I are
catheter in, dude. I don't even want to take a piss break.
Justin and I are on
Somebody's
the
getting
same
my
wavelength.
books if I'm not digging. That is literally the way I feel about it.
Yeah, Justin and I are on the same wavelength. That we're there for the fun times and the food and the experience and the naps. Sanitizer probably is one that's like,
Yeah, the toilet paper is really a good idea too, because I mean, last thing you want to do is sit down and then realize, oh, there's no paper in here,
that's
and
why
I've
I bring
already
the dude
started.
wipes, buddy.
So that's a good one too.
And there we go. There's my compact con bag. So
That's awesome.
that's what I'm going to take and check it out. That's also going to be what I bring to Disney this year. And this is normally the bag I bring. It's the Peak Design. I love this thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for like,
that one's really nice. I like that one.
but man, for all day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's like I said, that dependent.
And then in that, normally
I
this thing
base
goes
how
in.
much I'm going to put in my bag, and sometimes whether or not I'm going to take my bag or a fanny pack on, do I have a home base? At Heroes
Yeah.
Con, we had our own booth,
Yeah.
me and the guys. So I left my bag at the booth and I took the fanny pack and rocked with it. So, yeah, I think the most important thing to remember to bring though in your preparation is your common damn sense.
Yes. And on that note,
Because it's happened to me, and if you're not careful, it happened to you. Don't walk up to that booth, man, and blow your rent money on something that you want. You've been wanting it, dying for it, can't afford it. Now it's right in front of you. it's different now because the book's sitting, you're looking at it, you got it in your hand. Don't blow your rent money on these damn books, man. You can't live in that book, bro. That book, it's not gonna keep you warm, and if it does, it ain't gonna be but a minute, and then it's gonna be burnt up. So don't. Oh hell yeah, Nosh, I rocked that fanny pack, bro. You saw the Instagram? It's on there too. You can go scroll back to Heroes Con
this year.
But yeah, definitely keep your wits about you while you're at the show. Don't lose your mind and buy yourself out, spend yourself out of your being able to pay for your bills and stuff that the stuff that really matters, stuff that's really important.
The stuff that really is important to you.
Because that's going to really suck when you buy that book at that show and 2 weeks later you can't pay your rent. Now you got to turn around and sell it. And not only that, but you're probably going to have to sell it for a little less so it'll move quickly so you can pay your rent.
It's almost like Dustin's done that before.
Yeah, I have. So, I that Sentai number 2 that I bought earlier this year, I was kind of a little bit worried that was going to be what that ended up being, because I was just like, the idea of me probably never seeing this book in person again really sunk in for me. And luckily I was able to buy it, and I knew it wasn't going to have any negative effect on me, but it was something I had to really think about. And by the way, it has been cracked and it has been improved, and I'm definitely going to send it back in to get graded because I want this book to be preserved for sure. But my God, I love how good it looks in this Mylar.
It's so weird seeing this angle. I kind of like it.
But yeah, so this was one of those that did that to me. And that Walking Dead number 1, that was I didn't have the money for that book when I bought it that day. I ended up making the money. I ended up figuring it out, making it happen. But the day I bought that book, I did not have the money for that Walking Dead number 1. But I let the common sense kind of drift to the side a little bit. And hey, I got a Walking Dead number 1 now, though. So that's all that really matters.
Yes.
I feel that so hard. There's a 1 of 1 9.8 on eBay, and it is a Temptress. What is it? So I can go buy it. But
Justin, check it out. See, and it just sits there on the chest.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Then we get into some content, and then you just drop it right back in the chest. But anyways, guys, I gotta get up at 5:30. Dustin, you can keep talking.
I gotta go. I got 2 books I got to pull out, 2 more to put in, and then I'm hitting the sack too, because our arrival time has now bumped up to 9 o'clock. So
yeah, well, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna try, but
you're good, dude. I mean, we're paying to get in too. Like we thought we had somebody that was gonna be
Kuzakon follows us and likes all of our stuff. We should have reached out, like, hey, we'll exchange a video for free.
I thought about it, but I figured we'd talk to George like in person about that for next time.
Yeah, I hate.
But we were thinking we had a couple of different buddies of ours that were going to be setting up booths, so we could just come in and help them set up, and then we've done that before. We'll have to help some of our buddies who are vendors there, and then we can kind of get in and get our stuff settled, and we got a home base, but we don't have anybody at this one, so we gotta stand in line. So we're gonna get there at like 9 o'clock, and we're gonna be first in line.
What time does it actually open?
But yeah, thanks for everybody who's hung out tonight. Appreciate and love the conversation and interaction from the chat. That is always something that makes this a whole lot more fun for us. So thank you to all you guys, and we should be back next weekend for sure. Not sure where we're going with topics of conversation. Hopefully we'll be showing off some cool stuff we picked up at the con tomorrow, but we'll see. I've got some pretty big books that I pressed and cleaned for customers that are in the last stage of grading at CGC right now. So that kind of content will be coming up soon. I got a 181 in there that I should know the grade on by Monday. that I'm pretty excited about. So I've got a lot of that stuff coming. Guys, if you haven't already, please go follow me on Instagram, The Comic Book Chiropractor. Really would appreciate those follows, as well as on TikTok, Two Brothers Comics on TikTok. I'm trying to get us to 1,000 subscribers so that I can live stream on there while I'm working on these books.
Look, hold on.
And just other stuff. So
he really just wants to support the Chinese.
Well, that actually has nothing to do with it, but
I'm just messing with you.
when I see a guy on there that's got 197,000 people watching him peel the shell off of an egg, I'm like, I could probably pull at least 1,000 people that would watch me clean comic books, and maybe I could get some new customer base through that. So that's my whole mindset. So I'm trying to put up like some funny content on there. I'm also putting up videos showing progress before and after on books that I'm working on. So follow us on TikTok, Two Brothers Comics. Follow the Comic Book Chiropractor on Instagram. I don't care about you subscribing to our YouTube channel right now. Those are my two main focuses that I'd like for you guys to do. So definitely appreciate it. And I'm also doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway on TikTok when we hit it. So,
is Andy coming? I know he was talking about coming and hanging out.
I gave him all the info. I'm not sure if he's coming or not, though. I think it was a little early for him.
Well, you can show up even. It doesn't
That's
have
what
to
I told him. I
time.
said we'll be there all day. So
What time does it actually start?
10.
Okay. Well, if it sucks and we get through everything before we go hang out with your buddies, they don't have a booth, so they can leave if it does suck too. I was gonna say we could go midday and watch Black Adam.
No, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but hopefully it
I
doesn't
think the
suck.
show
That would
gonna
really be
suck, though,
terrible.
man. I always hate that I've never been able to go because baseball tournaments are always going on, postseason baseball tournaments. So
Yep. Anywho's, guys, you're the best part of Two Brothers Comics. Forgive the Mac camera. God, this is really bad quality.
Guys, remember, as always, collect your way. Unless it's going to get you in trouble with them bills, then you need to back off a little bit. But
or if it's something
keep an eye on these prices, guys. Go get those books that you've been wanting to get. Thanks to everybody who's been hanging out all night. We'll catch you guys next week.
Peking duck. Oh, you were ending it? I thought you were ending it. Man, you're a rookie. I started and had to finish it. Good Lord Night Almighty.